Steve Jobs left us with a lot of profound insights to help guide us in our lives. His favorite book, The Autobiography of a Yogi, was something that I read during my travels in India, and it quickly became one of my favorite books as well. The lessons in faithful piety from the book may have also inspired one of my favorite quotes from him, and that is that you cannot connect the dots looking forward into the future, but you have to have faith that the dots are going to connect somehow. I want to give you a little bit of personal backstory about myself. My father was a former captain in the military, and he became inspired one day by seeing the materials used for the stealth bombers. They were made out of graphite, and he went on to create the world's first graphite golf shaft and founded a company called Aldala Golf, whose products are now featured in stores all around the world. After that, he went on to create a company called Odyssey Golf, which is the #1 putter brand by sales and also the #1 putter brand in the PGA. On a personal level, he was quite the strict disciplinarian with me. Today, children are in front of their screens for several hours a day, for example, and he would never allow me to watch any kind of television or be in front of any kind of screen before 5 p.m., before evening time. And fortunately, that worked out perfectly for me because that was the time of my favorite show, Dragon Ball Z, on Cartoon Network. But he was very strict with his rules. He even installed a pull-up bar in the doorway of my bedroom, and every morning before I went to school, I had to do push-ups and pull-ups that I owed him a certain amount every day. Anytime that we went to the arcade, me and my friends, we wanted to play one of the games, we had to do 10 push-ups to get 1 quarter to play the game. He'd give us 2.5 cents per push-up. On one wall of my room were a whole bunch of posters that said what it takes to be #1. And they were articles that he saved from Vince Lombardi, Earl Morrall, famous quarterbacks and coaches. It was essentially as if he was preparing me for a life as an entrepreneur. He wanted me to have grit. He wanted me to be tenacious, to wake up, get to work, to self-motivate myself. Mark Suster says that tenacity is the most important characteristic for an entrepreneur. It's the person that never gives up, who never takes no for an answer, who ultimately finds a way to succeed. And Mark Suster said that 1 in 10 entrepreneurs have this quality. And so that's what my dad was kind of instilling in me. And when I was rooted in such an upbringing, it was almost my predetermined path in life to try and connect these dots however I could. And for the past 20 years, and I owe a lot of this to my father, that's exactly what I've been doing. I've studied and experimented with all of the hacks to optimize my life and my business to its full potential. And I really wanted to become one of those 10 to 15% of people who get to enjoy unconventional success, and unconventional success as it's important to me, not society's definition. And I've shared all of these learnings with others who would be keen to follow my footsteps. I wrote my first book, Buy Your Own Island, with hundreds of pages of lifestyle design hacks and optimization techniques. I interviewed all kinds of lifestyle designers who were living the 4-hour work week. And then a few years later, I wrote Dr. Growth, where I shared all of the business and marketing growth hacks that I've learned to create a smart, efficient, and profitable business so that you can increase your chances of success. And for me, it's been years of daily efforts to learn all of this stuff. Anything that I have found that was good, I've implemented. I've tested and I've tweaked, and using myself as the proverbial guinea pig. As Michio Kaku has famously said, the yeoman work in any science is done by the experimentalist who must keep the theoreticians honest. So it wasn't just book smarts. I took every tactic, every technique, and I immediately implemented it. I cataloged the results. Within the minds of experience, I've sought out all of the diamonds, sapphires, rubies, all of the gemstones, and discarded with all of the rubble. And I've drawn references and performed research using a variety of sources across a wide spectrum of disciplines, and integrated and experimented with their usage over many, many years. I've interviewed hundreds of experts in lifestyle design, digital nomads, world adventurers, some of the most successful startup CEOs, to pick their brain and understand what makes them tick. I started Open World Magazine and the podcast to help tens of thousands of people to get unstuck where they felt like they were frustrated. They hit a plateau. They didn't know how to move beyond it. And I wanted to give them the same techniques to consciously optimize their lives by design and help them break free and get ahead of the pack so that they can also join that 10% of people who are enjoying success as defined on their own terms. I taught them how to work smarter, how to do more and be more efficient with their time and with their lives. And I've taught these principles and these best practices to thousands of students all around the globe. I've done world tours across India. I've gone to Korea. I've gone all over Europe and Turkey and South America and taught thousands of students in person. And all of these, all of this 2 decades of experience and teaching has culminated in my new book, which is titled Unlimit. And my goal with this book is to honor the spirit and the wisdom of Steve Jobs and to help each person who reads it to do a little bit better job of connecting those dots for themselves. If you've always demanded more from yourself, if you always knew that you could reach a little bit higher and wanted to draw a little bit more upon your full potential, then you and I are kindred spirits. And I welcome you in this quest, and I welcome you as a fellow comrade in arms. So that's a little bit more about this book. I hope that you have a chance to check it out. I'm super excited. This is my most exciting project that I've begun to date, and I'm pulling out all of the stops to make this better than ever. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.